All right, welcomes ladies and gentlemen to the COD League season number 3 matchup between Vultur Gaming and Perky Pepperonis. This is game number 1 of the best of 3 set, our one match of the day in the league, and we're going to get right into the draft here. I'm Pithing Lagoon, bringing this match to you off of Dota TV as well as on Hitbox.tv/COD League. So hopefully you are in one of those two places if you're hearing this right now. But with that being said, we are going to hop right into this draft here. Already a couple heroes being banned out. Slardar has seen a couple of picks in this league already. A lot of teams are going for some pretty big minus armor strats. We saw a lot of Templar Assassin, Slardar yesterday. Some very good stuff.
5 seconds. Reserve time.
So we are still going through the bans here. So a few interesting bans. I mean, Alessio not usually one that we see banned out a whole lot, but he was pretty strong in the games yesterday. So it's not really too surprising to see him banned out here. But generally teams won't really touch it, even though they do pick it up a lot. Doom was also banned out, a hero that they keep trying to nerf, but you know, he's still pretty strong. The Doom is very good. I mean, I remember the days when Doom used to cancel your passives. Luckily they only put that on the Ags, but he's still pretty strong, and he's just so good at staying alive and making it out of situations that he really shouldn't, that he's been picked up quite a lot in the offlane. Also transferring into the jungle makes him also pretty viable. A couple of quick pickups here from the team. Wisp first picked up from Vultur Gaming. Obviously they must have a player that is extremely experienced on that hero and probably knows exactly what to do with it. So we'll see if Perky are able to deal with it at all in this match. And they themselves will go for the Ricky. It's kind of like your discount Bounty Hunter, but one thing that the Ricky has that Bounty Hunter does not is that awesome smokescreen. And that is a skill that, you know, a lot of people tend to underestimate. And it's actually incredibly strong. Get a maybe an orb of venom on Ricky. He becomes basically that scary support at the beginning, and he can really wreak havoc in the team fights and create a lot of pressure on the mid lane in the early part of the game. So that is what Perky Pepperonis are going with for their strategy in this game number 1. A reminder that this is a best of 3, and this is the first round of the upper bracket in the tournament. So the loser of this best of 3 matchup will go into the lower round, and the winner will go on to face Unknown in the, I guess that's quarterfinals of the upper bracket. Faceless Void. So we're going with a purple strategy for Perky Pepperonis. We'll see if they continue with that throughout their draft, but a very strong offlaner, and oh wow, interesting. A Drow Ranger so early in the picks. That's something that you would generally see picked up a lot later, but it does work pretty well with the Wisp. And if you get someone to catch a hero out, say with maybe a Nature's Prophet, or I mean Bounty Hunter is still in the pool, so you can really set up these ganks. Yeah, there's lots of possibilities with this Wisp pickup as well as the Drow. So there's going to be a lot of damage coming out, and the Drow is also going to be a lot more difficult to kill if she is linked up with that Io. So definitely something to be worried about. And while Perky Pepperonis, they are up on their Drow strats. They ban out the Visage and Vengeful Spirit, but I have a feeling that this Drow pickup is extremely strategic. They knew that they were going to go for bans that are somewhat similar to that. So I think Vultur Gaming, they know exactly what they're going to go for here. They have their heroes picked out, and we're possibly going to see somewhat of a pocket strat. And you can kind of tell that they're really set on their picks, and they're only using their reserve time for their bans, which are probably going to take a little bit more time to think about. few more bans out here. Phoenix and Disruptor, very, very strong supports that we've seen quite a bit over the past couple of weeks with the Manila Major and other tournaments that have been going on in that period. Saw quite a bit of the Phoenix yesterday, and it really creates quite a bit for your team. Usually what happens is you would either have a good ultimate AoE to help the egg make sure that you get that stun off, or you just use the egg as sort of an escape tactic, and then your team reinitiates after it. To really, what ends up happening is that the egg would get very low on health, and then the team fight control would come in, and it'd be just very difficult to hit the egg.
10 seconds to go.
So that's generally how that would work, and it's extremely effective here in almost any match. And again, the Disruptor could help with that as well. He's got lots of good catch. You can chase a lot with the glimpse, the kinetic field. There's lots of setup here. So they go for that ban, and it makes quite a bit of sense. Interesting pickup for Perky Pepperonis. It is going to be the Invoker. Here with a lot of team fight potential. Also a mid lane dominator in the early game. The question, though, is if he's going to be able to have a good early game that's required against a Drow lineup. Drow lineups are known for doing a lot of pushing in the earlier parts of the game, and they just do a ridiculous amount of damage. And we really have yet to see the full culmination of that lineup, as Io and Witch Doctor, not really heroes that you would associate with the Drow lineup so much, but you're kind of forced into that with the bans that came out from Pepperonis. But I think we're really going to start to see exactly why this pick was made with the two cores that are about to come out from Vultur.
Reserve time.
Talking a little bit more about Perky Pepperoni's team fight so far, they have the Chronosphere and then a couple of different things coming out from the Invoker. And he's got lots of damage potential that could lock down that Drow, lock down that Wisp, which was, I think, what's going to be the main target for Perky Pepperonis. Once you can take down the Io, the team fight gets a lot easier for you. And that's also kind of reflected with the Lina pickup. The stuns are going to be a great help in these fights.
10 seconds to go.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a support Lina. I'm just thinking right now if they could put it anywhere else, and they probably could. They could probably put a little bit more farm onto her. But I feel like this is most likely going to be a support Lina trying to take down the Witch Doctor. She's got a little bit of move speed once she casts her spells so that she could run away from the Drow Ranger a little bit better, who has some pretty good catch with the Io. Again, there is nothing that can really take the place of a comfort pickup, so I'm assuming that there's a player on Perky Pepperonis that really likes to play the Lina, and that is why they're picking up. It's not been seen too much as of late. It's still a very good hero, and can definitely get out of control if you let it. Also, the Ricky works pretty well with this, so he's going to be able to maybe lock down the IO on the other side of the fight so that it's not able to get any tethers off. It is a little bit hard to find the back of the IO since it is a ball, and I don't understand how it has a front or a back, but somehow it does. And it's pretty good for getting right into the middle of the fights, throwing down the silence, which could actually be really good against the Witch Doctor and the IO. However, Vultur have gone for the Dark Seer,
Radiant team ban.
which is, again, a good team fighter. Not generally something you would see with the Drow Ranger, but it does help with the lockdown, and it gives them a little bit of the,
10
I guess about,
seconds to go.
I guess he makes the pushes a little bit, or defending the push a little bit more dangerous for Perky Pepperonis, because he can go for a fast mechanism, Guardian Greaves, or a fast blink,
Reserve time.
and get right into the fights and get the vacuum, lock him down for the Drow Ranger to get a great silence. There's definitely potential with this pickup.
Seconds to go.
Perky Pepperoni is going to go with the Death Prophet ban, which takes a little bit of push potential away from Vultur Gaming, and it makes a little bit of sense. Death Prophet will be doing a little bit more damage with the Drow aura, that would be going across the whole map, so it makes the mid lane a little bit more different. But, well, they go with a hero with a lot more damage from auto attacks. It's going to be the Shadow Fiend. And if I'm looking at the heroes on Perky Pepperonis right now, I think the only one that has... Well, they do have a couple of answers for this Shadow Fiend, although many of them are pretty squishy. So if the Shadow Fiend goes for a Yules or an Ags or a Silver Edge, Shadow Blade, there's definitely an answer to a lot of these heroes.
Reserve time.
However, there is some answer to that with the Ricky Smokescreen. Invoker has the long-range Tornadoes, Faceless Void. He's got the Chronosphere, and well, Perky Pepperonis, their last pickup is going to be the Phantom Assassin, so that's going to be a support Lina. And a Phantom Assassin most likely going over towards the safe lane. And the real question in this match is going to be if Perky Pepperonis can withstand that assault on the front line and then not get caught out in the team fights by Darkseer. You can get that wombo combo dream of the vacuum into Requiem. Something that doesn't usually happen a whole lot, but if it does, it is going to be one heck of a show. So with that being said, we're going to hop right into this match, and we will get a pause, just because that's how Dota works. You start a match, you gotta have a pause. That's just the way things are. So we may as well get to our in-game screen. Requires a little bit of doctoring, but here we go. So, a little bit of a hiccup there, but that's just the way we like things on the English stream. So in any case, we are going to get right into this matchup between Vultur Gaming and Perky Pepperonis. Let's introduce our teams. Here on the dire side for Perky Pepperonis, it is going to be KVH on the Phantom Assassin. Playing the Invoker is going to be Aniasad. Our support Ricky is going to be handled by Dad. Hey, Dad. Lina is going to be played by Nimble Navigato. And finally, our Faceless Void in the off lane is going to be played by Monkeys Forever. I once played in the mid lane against Monkeys Forever, and I got my butt beaten. Here for the Radiant side, Vultur Gaming, it's going to be Negro on the IO. Darkseer in the off lane is going to be handled by Chun God. Shadow Fiend will be played by DidiX. Witch Doctor, our support, he's got a Sentry War in his inventory. That's going to be Visco. And finally, the Drow Ranger, setting up this Drow strike, going for the aura early, is going to be played by Algodon. And she is going to, the Ricky's going to scout her out here a little bit. And there is a Sentry Ward on the Witch Doctor. And Ricky places down an Observer in that hard camp right there. I'm sure they're going to be looking for the Ricky. They may not want... Oh, Witch Doctor's just dropping the Sentry Ward, reminding the Ricky that he can definitely see him if he were to put it down. Almost a little bit of a mind game. And the Wisp is going to be tethered up to the Shadow Fiend to start this. Shadow Fiend takes the rune. And the Wisp is most likely going to be helping out the Shadow Fiend quite a bit in that mid lane, as well as stacking up some camps for him. So he's going to have a pretty good start on the hero. And they're going to make sure that that range creep gets up there fast so that the Invoker doesn't have the best lane equilibrium. He's going to have to work a little bit hard to maintain it. And the Wisp is just free to harass the Invoker. Let's take a quick look at the other matchups here on the match. In the top lane is going to be Darkseer versus Lina. Lina misses the first LSA. And the Phantom Assassin may have a little bit of trouble against these Iron Shells once the Darkseer starts to get levels. In the bottom lane, Drow Ranger is going to see that Monkeys Forever is hitting up some hard camps here. So he's really not wanting to be on that lane a whole lot. And Ricky's going to be trying to steal as many... or try to stop as many stacks and pools as possible from the Witch Doctor. So there are your lanes. And the Darkseer, he's going to get caught out by an LSA on the top lane. I don't think he has to be too much scared at all. He still has that sprint away if he wants to. But he doesn't even have to use it, just puts an Ion Shell on the creep. And, well, Phantom Assassin could definitely take a lot of harass from this if she is not careful. And the lane is definitely going to be pushed out in that top lane. In terms of matchup here, the Invoker's definitely going to have to be pretty careful against the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's been doing pretty well in the early last hits department, and that's really where Shadow Fiend would tend to struggle. It's a little bit more difficult for him to get those Necromastery stacks up. But Invoker's doing okay, keeping up with the Shadow Fiend. But I would say that the worst is over for him, really. This Shadow Fiend really just wants to get some levels, and with the IO helping him out, he's going to be doing just fine. PA taking a little bit of damage from the Ion Shell creeps, but it's not a whole lot of danger here unless the Darkseer really wants to get aggressive. And he is going to be putting, or just watching the Lina a little bit. She's got that big range, and she's able to hit the Darkseer from so far away, but he's also fairly tanky. Well, Invoker getting a little bit low on that mid lane, forced to pop a salve. And on the courier, he is going to be having that Ring of Basilius delivered to him. So I don't think it's going to be an early Midas timing, which we saw a few times yesterday. It's going to be the Ring of Basilius real quick. Oh, in the top lane, Darkseer taking a little bit of damage once again from the Lina, but it almost looks like she hardly tickles him. She's basically doing 53 damage, and the Darkseer has 7 armor. So this Lina could not bother the Darkseer even less here. Oh, in the bottom lane, I guess. Darkseer finding a kill onto the Witch Doctor with the help of Monkeys Forever. Getting aggressive onto the Witch Doctor, and that will be the first blood. Once, of course, missed by the caster because I am stupid. That does leave the Drow to take a lot of damage at bottom, and she's just going to put a lot of Frost Arrows out. Monkeys Forever not using the Time Walk. There it is. And he also has that salve available, so he's going to get right back up to full health. In the mid lane, could get aggressive here onto the Invoker, but he's going to live with just 30 health, and that infused raindrop definitely showing its worth here in the mid lane, tanking the damage from one of those Shadow Raises. Definitely made it so that the Invoker did not die on that mid lane. But now he's really forced to back up a little bit. He's got a salve being delivered to him on the courier, so he will get back up his health a little bit on the top lane. The Darkseer taking a lot of damage, and that is going to be another death. Lena's going to take the kill with the Dragon Slave, and PA, just look at how low she got. 40 health. It's taken very low, and the Ricky illusions are here. Possibly to go on to the Witch Doctor. Could find another kill onto him if he is not careful. And PA is going to get the salves once again. So Perky Pepperonis, they want to stay in lane as much as possible, and they're using the salves to be able to do that. So even with the stronger lanes from Vultur, Perky Pepperonis, they get the first 2 kills on the map. And Ricky's once again going on to the Witch Doctor, and Drow Ranger could get caught out if she's not careful. There's going to be a TP in by the Wisp, and she's going to, well, the Wisp is going to help up the Witch Doctor. Monkeys Forever in the trees with the Time Walk available, and he will use it just to get out of there. Very, very easy engagement here from both teams. It does force out a TP from the Wisp, so the Shadow Fiend may find the mid lane a little bit more difficult, and it possibly could open the door for the Invoker to do a little bit more. Ricky kind of senses this and rotates over. So with that Wisp rotation, a little bit more space on the map is going to get opened up. And oh, well, careful on the top lane. It's going to be an LSA, and that Surge is going to be expiring here. PA has that Stifling Dagger, trying to chase down the Darkseer, and Wisp is not going to be able to hit this guy out. Another LSA by the Lina, and she will find the kill there on the top lane, just knowing exactly how to hit those. Hitting them just right on the top lane. Shadow Fiend, not a whole lot of stacks for him right now in this jungle, and there was a Sentry Ward placed down by the Ricky, but it was pretty recent, so I'm a little bit surprised that the Wisp hasn't stacked up a whole lot. I would really expect a bit more from him. And Monkeys Forever may have to be careful with the marksmanship being picked up by the Drow Ranger. There's definitely going to be a lot more help needed. And with that double damage, Ricky, bottom lane may have to be a little bit careful. Faceless Void still on level 4, not yet level 5, so he hasn't gotten to the Chronosphere just yet. And there's going to be the Sentry Ward placed down. Ricky, not sure if he noticed. He has gotten to level 4. He's not going in range with that Sentry just yet. See if he does. See if the Radiant are able to catch him out. There he is right inside of it. And I'm not sure if the Radiant... Okay, the Radiant know about it. And Ricky's able to blink away, but it's not going to be enough. I was going to take the kill with the balls of death. And Monkeys Forever is luckily going to be able to get out with his life. Yeah, you could just kind of see that happening a little bit there. As the Ricky had no idea that the Sentry Ward was placed on him. That's just some good awareness from Vultur Gaming, knowing that the Ricky's going to come around anytime soon. I feel like with the double damage he may not have been on that bottom lane, but it's a little bit unlucky for him. Feeling a little bit better and wasn't quite able to walk away the way he wanted to with that blink strike. So after that good start, the Shadow Fiend is going to be going into the jungle trying to get the farm. That first tower is going to go the way of Vultur Gaming. As they use the Drow strat, they take down that bottom tower. And they possibly could follow it up with a few more as we move on with this match. Ricky's just kind of hanging out in that mid lane, and the Shadow Fiend kind of recognizes the threat of him as well as the Invoker coming in with the cold snap. So he's wisely rotated off of the lane and gone to farm a couple of stacks here, up to 36 Necromastery. And, well, the Darkseer could be in a little bit of trouble on that top lane. We are going to see the Blink Strike in as well as the Smokescreek going down, and that is an easy kill for the Monkeys Forever squad. Perky Pepperonis up on the top lane, just taking the second death on that Darkseer. Speaking of the man, Monkeys Forever is going to be here at bottom. He's down to very little health, down to 400. He has taken the tango, but they're going to have to be careful of this. I mean, Shadow Fiend hitting for about 200 damage every time, and the Drow Ranger not anything to laugh at either, 150. So this is a strat that's doing quite a bit of damage. I'm a little bit surprised that they have not pushed any harder on the top lane, and that deny is not going to be hit. The catapult just got in there with that hit, so there is going to be the tower taken down at bottom. So that's 2 down. Tier 3 is going to be naked there. And the Invoker trying to do everything he can to try to find some kind of other trade in there. It's going to be the reaction. Are they able to take the tower out? The Fortify not going to be available, and the Invoker will find the tower kill. Deny not going to be on the mark for the Witch Doctor. So at least Perky Pepperonis get a little bit of a trade here. And a couple towers being taken. We still see that the Phantom Assassin is on top of the net worth. Hasn't really been contested a whole lot. Even with that Darkseer doing very well in the early game. And yep, she's staying on top of the farm here. She's going to be going for a pretty fast Battle Fury. Probably going to be about, I would say 14.5 minutes when she gets that. She's nearly got another one of the components, and she's not being contested at all. Oh, Ricky's going to get caught out by the Drow Ranger near the Ancients, and will the raise be on the mark? No, not there, because of a nice Blink Strike away. Good assistance by the Lina to help the Ricky out of that one. There is a Chronosphere available from the Faceless Void. Hasn't been able to find a good one just yet. He hasn't really been active around the map, and he's just really using this time to find a little bit of farm. And there is a regen rune picked up by the Ricky, so he's going to be back up to full health after that close call at the Ancients.
Radiant's bottom tower is under siege.
Drow Ranger makes her way over to the bottom lane. So does the Witch Doctor, and Monkeys Forever definitely wants to be careful here. He's just going to go over towards the hard camp. Try to find a little bit of farm. Lina is at level 6, so has that Laguna Blade available. And it could definitely prove to be a factor in these team fights. The Shadow Fiend a little bit tanky right now. I believe he's going for a pretty fast Dragon Lance, and he also has those power treads giving him a little bit of health as well. I believe when he has them on strength treads, he is at, what is that, 1400 health? Something like that. So he's definitely not a Shadow Fiend that would get blown over by a breath of wind. He can definitely survive throughout these fights. Darkseer has also gone for an early level into the wall. He's not gone for vacuum just yet. He's trying to get those levels into the ion shell. He's definitely looking for some team fight commitments. And I really like this from the Darkseer. I mean, his team is definitely focused on that early aggression. So he goes for that early level into the wall, which would definitely help him out in the team fights and kind of warding off any engagement that Perky Pepperonis might try to go for in this early game.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Still waiting for some further engagements here. It's a little bit surprising that Vultur haven't gone for any other towers other than in the bottom lane. They have made their way over to top right now. Draw Ranger still has yet to join them. And the other towers are getting pushed in on their side. The Faceless Void at bottom. He's probably a little bit threatening towards that bottom tier 1.
Dire's top tower
And
is
mid is already gone, so they can't really do any more pushing there. Don't think that Perky Pepperonis really want to engage too much here.
I hope that's part of your top tower is being attacked.
And this tier 1 tower in the top lane is going to get taken down pretty quickly.
Dire's top tower
They've also got that Hellbear Smasher in with the Ion Shell to help push out those waves as well. It's going to be the Helm of the Dominator on Drow Ranger that picked up that Hellbear. So Perky Pepperonis looks like they're aiming to make a stand here on the top lane. Vultur don't really have any idea that this could be coming, but they're doing quite a bit of damage. The Stifling Dagger is going to go onto the Drow Ranger and a blink forward by the Phantom Assassin. Not really too scared of it, and that is going to be a 12-minute Battle Fury from the Phantom Assassin, so very quick. And she's also got those phase boots, so she does have quite a bit of damage. And look at that, just the harass, the crit on the dagger onto the Drow Ranger does some substantial damage to the Witch Doctor, and it definitely means that you have to be a little bit careful. And of course, Monkeys Forever has taken down that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane while all of that was going on. Dar used the scan and know exactly where the Radiant squad are. I don't think there's going to be too much of an engagement, but Monkeys Forever continues to farm, and he's got the finishing of his Vlads coming in on the courier. Again, entering a lull, and this really only seeks to help out Perky Pepperonis. I mean, every tower that Vultur Gaming push is just more map control from them. It helps them out a lot more, and we may see Monkeys Forever. Yeah, he's getting caught out by the Drow Ranger a little bit, and he's got his team to back him up. He's got the Ricky. We'll see if he goes in for the Chronosphere. Oh, Ricky's going to hit him once, put the smoke screen down, and he completely misses that Chronosphere. I know what he was looking for. He was trying to hope to catch the Drow just on the outside of it so that the Ricky would be able to continue to put the backstab damage on, but he was just trying a little bit too hard there, and that was just a small margin for error there that, you know, maybe it would be best to just go for something else, because after that Chronosphere is down, Vultur Gaming, they're going to smoke right up, and they go into the Roche Pit. And Perky Pepperonis just have no idea about this. There isn't a whole lot that they can do either with that Chrono being down. It's going to be a very quick Roshan going down as Shadow Fiend does quite a bit of damage. They are going to scout it out with that Sunstrike, but it only takes down Roshan's health even more. And Ricky's going to have to make a decision if he wants to go in, because there is going to be... Whoa! What a Dragon Slave that takes the Roshan right out under the noses of Vultur Gaming. So that's no gold going their way as Lena just snatches it away with that Dragon Slave. Dragon Slave, more like Dragon Thief. That was dirty. The Aegis still goes the way of Vultur Gaming. It's going to be on the Drow Ranger, and she's doing a little bit of damage to this tier 1 tower. Dominates the creep, and it's going to be a pretty easy tower push for them. Chronosphere not up for another 50 seconds, so I doubt that Perky Pepperonis are going to want to go in on this at all. But at least they take something from that Roshan Temp. I still have to get over that. That was really sneaky.
Dire's middle tower has been destroyed.
Usually you count on Ricky to be the sneaky one. However, with that Aegis, it means that Vultur Gaming, they're allowed to go for more aggression here. One level of vacuum onto the Darkseer, and that's one thing that kind of happens as you group up for all these. You've noticed that the Radiant heroes, they're mostly going towards the bottom of the levels here. That's to be expected as they grew up a little bit more than Perky Pepperonis. Perky Pepperonis just using the map a little bit better, but Vultur, the trade is that they take more map control. So this tier 2 tower down to half health, and there is going to be an LSA hit onto the Shadow Fiend, who does not have that Aegis. And the Phantom Assassin shows up, and once again, her throwing out the Stifling Dagger forces Vultur Gaming off of that tower. And it forces a retreat. Let's see if they can find anything in the jungle. There could be a silence here onto Monkeys Forever. The Faceless Void, he's just going into the trees, trying to hide a little bit. And is he going to get out? Yes, he does. The raise is not going to hit him. So once again, they try to go for the gank, but it's just not there. There's good awareness, though, that they could find someone farming that hard camp. Only something that you could go for. Draw Ranger trying to hit this tower down, and Shadow Fiend will find it with the last hit. He just does ridiculous amounts of damage here, and he's already at 2,000 gold, got the Yasha picked up. It could be a Manta style for him, but he may also go for the Sanjin Yasha, just going all out early build. Faceless Void has enough money for the Blink Dagger, will pick it up just now. And teams are very close together here. The Alpha Wolf has been picked up by the Drow Ranger, so she's going to be doing quite a bit of damage with it, as well as the Shadow Fiend. The question for them, though, is if they can go high ground. I mean, Perky Pepperonis clearly have the better late game. And with the lack of levels on the Darkseer, I mean, it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult for Vultur Gaming to take a team fight well. Especially if the Chronosphere is up from the Faceless Void. So their net worth is kind of close, as you can see on the graph. Less than 10,000 right now. It's not terrible. I mean, Perky Pepperoni still have the lead, even with all the towers that Vultur have taken. Just not really farming as well. And unfortunately not a crit dagger onto the Drow Ranger. There's going to be a Chronosphere on the backside that's doing tons of damage. Here comes a Meatball. And the Ricky damage also helps them out. So the Witch Doctor and the Darkseer, they're going right down. And they smell blood in the water. They're going right for the cores. Requiem goes out. And the Wisp is going to save. Drow Ranger finds a kill onto the Lina. But they're going to go forward onto the Drow Ranger. Just kind of staying away from that Wisp. And I don't know if they're going to relocate out. Wisp is actually going to go for the TP back. And... yeah, if they're going to find the kill onto the Drow Ranger, Wisp not helping him out, and the Wisp is able to get away. So, all in all, that is going to be a 3-for-1 the way of Perky Pepperonis. However, you know, the gold story didn't really seem to tell that. Especially as that was a killing spree going the way of the Radiant. So, still a good fight the way of Perky Pepperonis. They managed to hold the tower, and that's a really good sign for them. But the Mantis almost finished up on the Phantom Assassin, which is going to help her quite a bit against the Drow Ranger, able to Mantis style out of the silences and really be difficult in these team fights to take down. I mean, it kind of forces Vultur to make sure that they go for the MKBs to be able to take down that Phantom Assassin. And that's something you really don't want in this kind of strat. I mean, if you're ahead by a lot, then it kind of makes sense. But you know, Perky Pepperonis, they're definitely ahead by far. Or by at least a substantial amount considering the strat that's going on here. And also, if you take a look at the items that Vultur are going for, and actually, oh, Ricky's going to get caught out. He got stuck underneath the Sentry Ward, and he's going to go into his ultimate. A Sentry Ward is going to get dewarded, and Ricky still has that dust on him. The Sunstrike is going to be there, but the Shadow Rays will end up finishing off the Ricky in the jungle. So he just got a little bit aggressive, and his ward ended up getting taken out by the Witch Doctor and the Shadow Fiend. So with that being said, these illusions doing a little bit of damage to the wave. Not a whole lot. But this game's still very, very far from being decided. It's just if Perky Pepperonis can weather this damaged storm from Vultur. See if there are any big items. Manta Style finished up on the Phantom Assassin, who's had some really good farms. She's got the Ogre Club as well, so I believe that's going to work into a Black King bar possibly. Or it could be an Echo Saber, which would be an interesting pickup from the Phantom Assassin. Gives the Phantom Assassin more health. Yeah, I mean, it's a good stats item, and it's definitely a good pickup from her with that double chance on the crit. Some good damage potential there. Almost at that level 16. And Phantom Assassin really thrives on getting those levels early. Gonna be a Diffusal Blade probably soon on the Ricky. And Monkeys Forever. He's gonna watch the Shadow Fiend here. Has that Chronosphere available. About to walk back in, but the Shadow Fiend will have help from the IO. So if the Chronosphere is gonna get used, that's gonna be a pretty big win here for Vultur, as I'm sure the Wisp would be able to get that relocate out of the Chrono if it happened. I'm pretty sure Monkeys Forever, he's just thinking that the Wisp is definitely hanging out there if the Shadow Fiend is being so aggressive. So he probably expects the Chronosphere to be available there, and he probably expects the relocate going to be there for the Shadow Fiend. So he wisely chooses not to use it. Scan is going to catch out the Drow Ranger moving around here in the Secret Shop. Bottom tower will get taken out by the Phantom Assassin. So despite the Drow strat, we're nearly even here on towers. It's only a 1 tower advantage for the Radiant. And, I mean, this strat really thrives on doing some good damage early and getting a higher net worth. But Perky Pepperonis, they've stayed with Vultur Gaming, and they've really taken the legs out of this strat. Oh, wow. PA finding some kills somehow with the Lina. I'm not even using the Laguna Blade, just taking out the IO in the bottom lane. Yep, that must have been some pretty good crits there, as the Phantom Assassin is going to finish off the BKB. I almost feel like the Phantom Assassin has farmed so well at this point that it's just very scary for Vultur Gaming to go into anything right now. And they really have to try to pick off Phantom Assassin at the beginning of the fight, because other than that, she's going to be pretty hard to hit down. And with that BKB purchased, it's going to be even more difficult to do that. On the bottom lane, BKB is going to be activated by the Shadow Fiend. So that's going to be the 10-second BKB going down. Ricky goes forward a little bit. They don't see him at all. And the Invoker is going to be in the Ghost Walk as well. So the Dara are able to get out of that one. Whoa! 1 hit, 1 kill. Phantom Assassin takes it. Tornado goes through onto the Darkseer, and he will get hit by that LSA. Just awesome teamwork from Perky Pepperoni. 3 kills to 10, 24 minutes in the game, and this could be the base in trouble. They definitely have the opportunity to go high ground up against Vultur, and while the tables have turned, just absolutely saying that we don't care about your drought strat at all. We're going to go high ground at 24 minutes. A pretty impressive time here for Perky Pepperonis as they take that tier 3 tower down. Darkseer will respawn in 20 seconds, but the Requiem is down. And Phantom Assassin goes right for the Shadow Fiend, and not quite getting hit by that Dragon Slave. One more dagger will end up taking the kill as KVH pops that Manta Style to get away from the Drow Ranger, blinks away. And the Drow continues to do quite a bit of damage. And look at that. Ricky just goes right for the Witch Doctor. Returns him to the base. Says, we don't need your kind around here. And the smoke screen is going to get out here. Phantom Assassin just blinks right onto the Drow Ranger. So much damage. And don't walk into the Chrono. That's going to be a triple kill for the Phantom Assassin. And oh, beautiful vacuum by the Darkseer. And I feel like the Phantom Assassin illusion just might be doing a lot of work here. But it is going to be a double kill for the Darkseer. However, that's going to complete the 5-man team wipe. And Perky Pepperonis, they're looking extremely scary here. 1,800 gold changed their way as they've taken out the racks, and it's probably not going to be too long before they take out some other racks and possibly the Ancient as well. 25 minutes in the game, and it's Perky Pepperonis. They've really put this Drought strat on its butt. I mean, that strat is very momentum focused, and Vultur, they were just very scared to go into Perky Pepperonis. They did not want to give up too many kills because there are 2 ways that strat ends. I mean, you miss your opportunity, or you just get wiped at a tower that you're trying to take and you give up too many kills. So it's almost like Vultur were in a no-win situation when they couldn't take towers without giving out a whole lot of kills. And this game started out very slowly, but somehow that it worked out for Perky Pepperonis because they didn't give out too many towers, and they just kept it so that the net worth lead was always in their favor, which was really impressive. I mean, the PA got some really great farm, and also something that probably helped them quite a bit was stealing that Roshan. I mean, it was more like a boulder on the way down a hill, but still, that definitely serves to demoralize a team quite a bit. That's going to be the Roche being taken by Perky Pepperonis. The Aegis is going to go onto the Invoker, and Vultur Gaming, they're very close here, using the Centaur possibly to scout. And yeah, they are going to see the Ricky heading over to top right now. And yeah, Perky Pepperonis, they could take out the last remaining outer tower of the game very easily here. PA just does so much damage. I mean, over 200 damage right now. Working towards that Abyssal Blade already has the Skull Basher. This is a very tough team, and there's going to be a Chronosphere here on the Negro. Faceless Void trying to go for it. It's a nice coconut going around. Oh, but look at that beautiful vacuum by the Darks here. Fenrir Assassin don't care at all, going right for the Wisp, and she's just focusing that poor little ball down. And PA just knows that this is the time to get out. EMP is going to make it very difficult for Vultur to engage into this at all. Cold Snap going to be used onto the Witch Doctor. Absolutely obliterated by the PA, and that's going to be another Manta style used to get rid of that. Ooh, wall not available from the Darkseer as he doesn't have enough mana. Aegis is going to get popped, and the Laguna Blade goes on to the Drow Ranger. Oh, Faceless Void, he's able to find the kill, and Vultur, they may be on their last legs here. Monkeys Forever, he's going to stay alive, and that Sunstrike is going to miss, but it don't really matter, because that's going to be the full 5-man team wipe the side of Perky Pepperonis, and they are damaging this tier 3 tower with not a care in the world. That's going to be it. Vultur Gaming, call the GG. And we are going to be heading into game number 2 of this best of 3 matchup. 20 kills to 5. Perky Pepperonis are going to take it. You know, originally in this match, you kind of think that the Drow strat is going to have a very good early game. But Perky Pepperonis continue to just farm through that. And, well, they end up taking the win here up against Vultur Gaming. And we will go quickly into game number 2 in just a couple of moments. Stick around. You might see something you like. Or something you don't. Stay classy. And we're back here with game number 2 of this best of 3 set between Vultur Gaming and Perky Pepperonis here in the Card League Season 2. Or, sorry, Season 3. It's just wigging me out at the top there every single time. But yeah, this is Season 3 of the COD League. I'm Payson Legume, going to be bringing you this match here off of Dota TV as well as hitbox.tv/COD League. So hope you guys are all having a great time here. I certainly am. Watching some great Dota. So the last match we saw a Drostrat out from Vultur Gaming, and we're seeing some very similar bans out here in the first couple of phases from Perky Pepperonis and Vultur Gaming. And it's going to be the first pick, Beastmaster. So it was banned out first in the last match, and now we have a first pick up from Perky Pepperonis. And I'm assuming that's going to be a Monkeys Forever Beastmaster in that offlane. He played the Faceless Void fairly well in the last match, aside from a very difficult missed chrono. But other than that, he did play fairly well, and he did pretty all right in that offlane as the Faceless Void. So we're probably going to see a little bit more of that in this matchup as the Beastmaster. So that is the first pickup here from Perky Pepperonis, and of course, the bans, interesting from the team for the second match. Phoenix was banned out in the second phase of the last match, I believe, by Vultur Gaming. So Perky Pepperines, they're going to take the first ban of that one in this match. And the Ricky respect ban out in this match as well. So we will not see that dad Ricky that we saw in the last match create a lot of space from his team. And the smoke screens were pretty on point, and there were some pretty good blink strike escapes as well. So taking a lot of time on this pickup from Vultur Gaming. They seem okay. They go for the IO again. That's fine. Took them a little bit to try to figure that out. And if I were their Wisp player, I would definitely be a little bit afraid of picking it up again, because in the last match, I mean, there were just times where I had no idea that the Wisp was even dying, because the Phantom Assassin just beat the crap out of it. That's a very gentle way of putting it. I mean, it was a one-hit, one-kill. I mean, I would expect the Lina would go up and use the Laguna Blade for that one, but that didn't even happen. I mean, this Wisp just got... I don't know. It was like there were a couple magicians out on that field, and the Wisp was the beautiful assistant that the magician would always make disappear. And, well, the Wisp did end up coming back a few times, but in the end, it did not reappear once again, as Vultur Gaming, they lost that first match in 27 minutes. So that was a pretty convincing win for Perky Pepperoni. So we'll see if Vultur Gaming are able to find their groove in this one. They go for the IO Sven to start off the match. It took them quite a while to decide that they were going to go for that. They took up most of their reserve time for their first two picks, and I wonder why. It was probably all of that time spent to convince that Wisp player that they would protect it a little bit more and it wouldn't get killed so much. It's possible. It's definitely possible. In any case, we are going to see it once again in this match, and Perky Pepperonis are going to go for the Vengeful Spirit. So they already have two spells that go through BKB with the Roar and the Swap. And they also have a couple of auras. It's almost like Perky Pepperonis might turn around and do a Drought strat their own. It's pretty appetizing up against this Vultur Gaming squad so far. And they would be doing quite a bit of damage and have a lot of attack speed with the auras that Perky Pepperonis would have. A few more bans here. Doom was banned out in the first phase of the last match, but he is going to get banned out in the second phase here by Vultur Gaming. And there's going to be a Tidehunter ban from Perky Pepperonis. Something we don't always see banned out, but it is a very strong hero. Has a lot of team fight potential. And when it is picked up, it's generally played pretty well. Very difficult to kill in that offlane. Once again, Vultur Gaming going into the reserve time. So this is getting rather low. They're not going to have a whole lot of time to decide on their last couple of pickups for the game. It definitely worries me a little bit. Maybe they're a little bit intimidated by the Perky Pepperoni squad. But, you know, I mean, they still fulfilled their goal a little bit in the last match. They took down some towers. They banned out the PA, which makes a little bit of sense considering the last performance. And I'm sure that Iowa's definitely make a strong case for banning out the PA, which really was not fun for the IO in the last match. So that's going to get banned out. If anything, Vultur Gaming were just not aggressive enough on the map in game number 1. They probably need to be a little bit more aggressive taking those towers down. And they were right, they didn't want to give up kills. But it just got to the point where Perky Pepperonis just had so much time on the map to be able to get their farm up. And by the time Vultur Gaming started to be on the downslide of their push strat, I mean, the game was already pretty much over. Perky Pepperonis were just pushing into the base. Oh, an Oracle pickup here from Vultur Gaming. One of my favorite heroes in the game. It's a lot of damage potential, and it also has a lot of utility with the False Promise as well as Fate's Edict that can help out the team. False Promise on top of the Beastmaster Primal Roar would definitely help out a carry that got roared. That's something that happens here in Dota 2. But it's a little bit more than that. You kind of expect your team to be able to initiate off of that. And perhaps a swap could help get a hero even more out of position after they were roared. But That's 2 ultimates for a single here just to stop the Oracle from being able to have an effect. And the Oracle is just kind of like a get out of jail free card. It's almost like a discount dazzle with different kinds of utility. And if it's on the same side as a Sven or even the Wisp, I mean, Wisp can get healed up a lot by the Oracle. Oracle can heal it up with the fire, the purifying flames. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential with this draft. I will give it to Vultur. They seem to, I mean, other than spending most of their reserve time, they seem to know a lot of what to do with their draft. They have a couple of strategies here that seem to work pretty well. It's just the execution that kind of gets them on the back foot.
5 seconds.
Undying is going to be the pickup from Perky Pepperonis. It's a lot of P's in that match. I probably should have invested in bringing the pop filter out here, but you know that this microphone doesn't really have a big problem with those. It's not as bad as most microphones would be. So Undying is going to give a lot of that early game potential. Tombstone give me quite a bother for a lot of these heroes. Oracle could be good against taking it down fairly quickly. I mean, Oracle actually has a pretty low base attack time, so if Oracle can hit the Tombstone enough, it's definitely gonna have a chance of being killed by her. Or him, sorry. But it can be difficult sometimes for Oracle to actually be able to have that sustained damage onto the Tombstone. So we'll see how that works out here for Perky Pepperonis. Undying did receive a little bit of a buff in the last patch, 6.88. I believe he had a buff to his intelligence, possibly, as well as the decay. I'm kind of guessing on that, but I'm feeling like there was a decay buff in there as well. And the Queen of Pain is going to get picked up by Vultur Gaming. So if we're looking at the strat that they had in the last match, their mid player was a Shadow Fiend. So he did quite a bit of magic damage with the raises and stuff, and he did move around the map pretty well, did a lot of damage with the auto attacks, and the draw strat kind of helped him out. So if we transfer that into this match, the Queen of Pain is going to be pretty active around the map. I possibly would have liked to see the Shadow Fiend maybe being able to find a little bit more in lane. Also some more jungle farming. It kind of seemed like after the Invoker got a couple of levels, the Shadow Fiend really didn't want to be around the lane so much, especially with the Ricky roaming around, so he just went into the jungle, and at that point his farm kind of stagnated. So he was helped out a little bit by the farm given from taking the towers down, but things got very difficult for him. I mean, once he got away from that lane, or was forced away from it. So we'll see if the Queen of Pain is able to be a little bit more aggressive. Definitely has the avenue to get in and out of fights with that blink, and there's a lot of magic damage potential there with the Sonic Wave. Quinks is going to get picked up here by Perky Pepperonis, and well, that is a very difficult hero to take down once he has eaten a creep. And he's got a lot of damage potential. We'll probably go for an early Orchid Malevolence to help go for that Queen of Pain, as well as some other heroes here for Vultur Gaming. And he can easily take down a Wisp if he isn't getting smacked down by enemies on the dire side. So he's definitely a scary hero, and you can kind of tell in that last match that the carry hero for Perky Pepperonis really wanted to take those supports down, just went for that Wisp nearly every time. So the Clinks, what they can do is they can just invis to the back lines and then just look for the Wisp to go for the tether, and while the carry of the dire side is focusing somewhere else, the Clinks is just going to chunk down the IO, and that's a pretty big factor in the team fights. Invoker also pretty good in the team fights. He can send out a lot of those skills. Played fairly well in the first match, and he's probably going to have a little bit better of a matchup against the Queen of Pain. Although she can do quite a bit of burst damage once she gets to level 6, so he would need to be careful of that. And here we don't see generally very often. The Centaur War Runner is going to get picked up by Vultur Gaming. And I have no idea why my OBS does not want to cooperate with me. I really wish it would. In any case, I'm going to try to get that up in just a moment. Just trying to be proactive. Okay. So, for some reason my draft overlay does not want to, or sorry, my game overlay doesn't want to work with me. So I'm just going to give you this game overlay list. Apologies for that. I'm not really sure why that's happening. I'll go into looking at it later. But we are going to get right into this match. So let's just focus on the casting, not worrying about the production, because can't always do everything. Maybe if we get a pause, we'll try to work with stuff. So we're going to go right into this match between Vultur Gaming and Perky Pepperonis. Perky Pepperonis with the game number 1 lead. So we'll see if they are able to close out the series. And Vultur, they're already very far ahead here. Could catch out the Clinks, who has not gone for the invade. He's going to get caught out here. Look at that. Stomp in, and Chun God, he finds a kill with the stomp onto the Clinks. And that is not going to help Brooklyn Kurtz's chances here in the early game. So an early bread taken by Vultur Gaming. And, well, at least they have a 1 on their side now. The first game went to Perky Pepperonis, but the first kill of the second match goes to Vultur, and possibly that could be a sign of good things to come. And yeah, we are going to see the Invoker finding the rune here at the top rune spot. And Queen of Pain is going to take the one at bottom. So we did not really show the builds a whole lot, but let's just go through that real quickly. Shared Tango is going to be dropped on the ground from the IO. It's going to be helping out that Queen of Pain. So Vultur really like to run their dual mids. It's pretty good for them. And a little bit more aggressive here for Perky Pepperonis. They really want to shut down the safe lane for Vultur. And they're going to throw down the Undying. And oh, wow, look at this in the mid lane already. Wisp is taking quite a bit of damage from the Vengeful Spirit, but he's most likely going to be okay. And at bottom, Clinks is going to be solo against the Centaur. So interesting lanes here. The 2-2-1 setup from both teams. And that is 4 heroes on the mid lane. That is something you don't generally see in a lot of matches. Oh, stun, and the Sunstrike can be doing a lot of damage to the IO. He eats the Fairy Fire, and that's going to be a second blood going the way of Queen of Pain as she takes down the Vengeful Spirit down in that mid lane. As the Invoker says, please stop feed. Mein Team. So that's really what the Invoker does not need on that mid lane. The advantage going to the Queen of Pain. And that also allows the IO to be a little bit more active on the map. And he'll just go over to the neutral creep to deny himself and get back to the base as fast as possible. There is going to be another stun available by the Vengeful Spear onto the Centaur Warwarning. He has the stop available, and he will hit it onto Clinks. And now the Vengeful Spear taking a lot of damage from the creeps. She's really... Yeah, she's got to be careful here as the Centaur is going to get healed up by the IO. And he's also got that move speed help. Oh, Vengeful Spirit is able to jump her way through the trees and eat through them to find the path to safety. Klink's got to be careful once again, but the Centaur is very low. Could be 1 or 2 hits that will do it. But the Centaur is just so incredibly tanky, and the Klinks is not quite able to find a kill there. Invoker picks up the Forge Spirits at that bottom, or that mid lane. He's possibly able to do a little bit more damage to the Queen of Pain with it, but he will end up denying it nicely after the Queen of Pain has put a lot of damage onto it. Monkeys Forever trying to fight up against the Sven, who's getting slowed down by the boar. Dad is here with the Undying. Monkeys Forever going to get the purge off by the the Oracle. And they go and try to interrupt the pool a little bit. And they do. Pretty easy lane at top as Monkeys Forever leads the CS board 11 for 3 right now. And he's definitely doing very well. In terms of levels, the Centaur, he's actually on par with the Beastmaster right now. So even with the dual lane, they're not really hurting for levels at all, which is definitely a good sign for Perky Pepperonis. as Monkeys Forever is going to be pretty instrumental in his team doing well in this match. Monkeys Forever continues to farm. There possibly could be a go here onto the Invoker. And actually, they've gone in, not yet level 6, onto the Queen of Pain. But she don't really care at all. She is just walking underneath the tower a little bit. And there is not going to be a Sunstrike just yet. And the Cold Snap goes out onto the Queen of Pain. Balls continue to hit the Invoker in the face. And a blink forward. And the Scream is not going to be enough. Invoker just underneath the tower. The Queen of Pain could go down, will go down to the creeps. Wasn't able to get enough help from the Wisp. But she does get the levels. And she gets the gold as they take the kill on the Invoker in the mid lane. Monkeys Forever going to be putting the damage onto the Oracle. That's just a ridiculous amount of damage. And this Queen of Pain, she's made her way here over to the top lane. This damage from the Oracle is just way too much. Data's going forward onto the Oracle. One more decay, probably going to do it as the Oracle helps him out a little bit with the Purifying Flames, taking the health wave down low, as the Undying will also get taken out by the IO. So that's a couple of kills going the way of Vultur. Definitely a better start to this game than they did in the first. As the Queen of Pain, not yet level 6, but she doesn't really care. She's just being very active on the map and not really caring about the mid lane at all. As Invoker, he is, well, actually, it's about on par with the levels. That kill definitely helped her out a lot in that department. May possibly calm down a little bit here in a few seconds. Monkeys Forever is going to get caught out by that Purge of the Oracle. And Undying could get some more decay stacks. Sven going towards that level 6. He's nearly got that God Strength up. And Sven is going to go forward with the Warcry. Oracle is here. And Monkeys Forever, he's not long for this world at all. Aya once again finds a kill. And they're just not respecting this Oracle at all. You know, Oracle has some ridiculous damage potential at the early part of the game with that Purge and the Purifying Flames. And Undying, he is going to go forward here. But he may be in trouble very quickly. He's also got a Tombstone available. Has that Decay. He's probably going to need to use it here, as well as the Soul Rip. And there's going to be the Purifying Flames. Undying heals himself up some more. But it was a bait. They stun the Sven. They put the Tombstone down in the top lane. And Klinks has taken the tower bot. So he possibly could TP in for this. But there's going to be another stun onto the Undying. And they're just not able to control this Sven at all. He just does too much damage. And they're trying to go for this Aya. One more hit is going to do it. And the Sunstrike isn't even needed. Vengeful Spirit is very low. The stun is available from the Sven. And the Centaur has also come here. Queen of Pain just decides to help out as well. That's going to be 3 kills on the top lane. It just seems like Perky Pepperonis, they are not ready for this onslaught. So that was a pretty big win for Vultur. Brook Concourse has made his way over to the top lane, and Klinks is going to get hit with a couple of balls. The Wisp may know about this, and Klinks is just going to go right for the Wisp. The Centaur ultimate is going to get used, and the Wisp is not going to get hit with that Sunstrike. Here comes the God Strength. The Stomp is going to miss from the Centaur, and Undying. He's taking so much damage from this. One hit from the Klinks does end up taking down the Centaur, but that's going to be a double kill for Klinks. And Sven, he's taking a lot of kills here, will finally find the Undying, and the Sven is able to find the kill here onto the Klinks, and Vengeful Spirit was just not able to help enough. So that's going to be a 2 for 2 as Klinks, he unfortunately went down there, and that's a pretty big kill the way of Vultur. And once again, Invoker, he's picked up the Infused Raindrops, which is a great item. It helps him against this Queen of Pain, and it's going to help him survive a little bit more here. Could possibly go on to her at some point, but he is just going to back a little bit. So right now, 10 kills to 5 the side of Vultur. We are 7.5 minutes in the game. I don't know why I'm looking at net worth, but Klinks is at the top of that, clearly. In any case, we may see an engagement here in the jungle as Queen of Pain has popped the Invis Rune, being very sneaky here. And Klinks, they wanna actually go onto the Centaur, who has 15 seconds left onto the war run, or the charge. And they are, well, he actually pops the dust. And the Beastmaster goes in. Oh, Queen of Pain, that's a level 1 Sonic Wave, and it barely does anything. Clinks is going to invis, run forward with the Skeleton Walk, and are they able to find anything? They have already used the Primal Roar. Queen of Pain uses the Scream here onto Monkeys Forever and the Clinks, and Clinks is just doing a ridiculous amount of damage, almost taking down the Wisp. And the Wisp is just able to get away from that Zambi. And, well, Vultur, they may decide that they just want to go for that Tombstone. It's going to get healed up by the Soul Rip of the Undying. But that's not going to help it out too much. But Perky Pepperies do end up backing away from that one. Invoker's still working on that farm in the mid lane. Sven has skyrocketed to the top of that net worth graph with that that kill. 3-0-5 right now, being very active on the map. Invoker is trying to take down this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but he will not find it so easy as the Queen of Pain has rotated over, and there's also a lot of help. Centaur is available here, doesn't have the blink just yet, and the tower is not within deny range. So there will not be a deny here just yet as the Invoker just backs off. So things once again quiet down, 6 kills to 10. I definitely feel like Perky Pepperonis. Okay, we are going to have a disconnect. So let me see if I can find out this HUD thing. So we are still trying to figure this out. Alright, we are going to get back into this game, and unfortunately I'm not able to figure it out just yet. So continuing on, we've got Vultur with a little bit of a lead. If we look at the XP and gold, it is on the side of Perky Pepperonis right now, but it's still very close. It's not really worth looking at the golden net worth or golden XP right now a whole lot. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot at the beginning of the match. There's a stack here for Sven to take, so that's going to help him out with his farm. They do have some pretty good stacks for him. If we take a look at the Ancients, it's pretty good. It's quite a few heroes right there. Or sorry, quite a few Ancients. So there is some good farm. Oracle is going to scout out the Clinks, farming up some creeps. Queen of Pain will find the deny onto the mid tower. And Clinks has gone for an early Blightstone, so it's going to be a pretty fast Desolator from him if he decides to keep going for it. It's not terrible. I might like to see a Desolator a little bit, or sorry, an Orchid a little bit early from him, especially in this match. This Sven. He's ready to go, doesn't have a blink right now, and they've also, let's see the vision for the Radiant Squad. So they see pretty much everything here for the Dire side, and, well, Clinks is in the trees, and he's going to get dusted up. There is a stomp available, but it's not going to get used just yet. There's a stun onto Clinks, and he just loses his Death Pact in the nick of time right there, and it's an easy kill for Vultur, and they take a very valuable Clinks kill above their top tier 1 tower. So that's another kill on the board here for Vultur, and the Clinks is definitely important for them to be taken down because that's going to be their real team fight damage. Going to get helped out a little bit by the other heroes, but Clinks is really the one outputting most of it. And Queen of Pain is just farming up in that mid lane. She's at level 8, almost level 9 right now. There is not a smoke here for Perky Pepperonis as they just move up in that top lane. Beastmaster now at level 8. So he is working towards his Necro book, and I believe he has it. But there is going to be a charge here on the mid lane onto the Invoker, and he will get hit by that double edge of the Centaur. Almost getting really hurt by that Purifying Flames. And, well, it's also worth noting that that strategy of getting that double edge pretty pretty quickly. Like, you're going to level that up to 4, but then you also have the Oracle able to heal you up with the Fate's Edict and Purifying Flame. So it's a pretty good strat right there. I think it'd be Decay going onto the Sven, but he doesn't really care at this point. And Klinks is being very aggressive, going right for the IO. There's going to be a stun onto him, but a nice swap away by the Vengeful Spirit just in the nick of time as the Sonic Wave went out from the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain trying to put more damage out here. There's going to be the False Promise used onto the Oracle as Oracle tries to TP away. Will end up getting out, but will she go down in the base? Yes, she will. Undying ended up taking that kill there somehow. So that is going to be a 3-0 with a beautiful swap away by the Vengeful Spirit as Klinks just decides to steal that little poor creep. Might just be a casual Blightstone on the Klinks as he seems to be going for more of a survivability build, going for the Black King bar. The Sunstrike goes out into the pit to help them out with the damage onto Roshan. And with the Beastmaster aura as well as the Vengeful Spirit, oh, she doesn't have a level just yet. But with the Beastmaster aura, this Roshan is going to go a little bit quicker. And I don't think Vultur are going to be able to make it there in time. They're just heading through the secret shop right now. It looks like actually Sven was going to try to start farming those Ancients. And he may be second guessing his decision right now as Perky Pepperonis are in that area. Sven is actually going to go for it right now, and he takes him out fairly quickly, helped out by the cleave of his as well as the battle cry, and now he has a little bit more attack speed from the Wisp as well. So there's going to be a lot of gold going the way of the Sven, getting towards that armlet. Lots more damage from him as well as survivability. But the real question is if it's enough. Aegis on the Klinks, and what item is the Invoker at right now? He has gotten a Hand of Midas, and he's working towards his next one. I think it was a Blink Dagger in the last game. Maybe wrong on that. And the stun is going to go on to the Forged Spirits in the mid lane. A Meatball is going to get dropped down, and Sven is just going to run away from it. Didn't really get burned at all. Just a bit singed by the Forged Spirit. So we do have a smoke here from Perky Pepperonis. They're going to be walking through the water at this point. Monkeys Forever is going to get the smoke broken by the Centaur. Centaur has that blink away, and the blink away is in time away from Monkeys Forever, who will not be able to connect on this kill. And actually, going for a Centaur might not have been the best choice, since he is pretty tanky and fairly difficult to take down with his 1300 health. Oh, meanwhile, at the bottom lane there is going to be a charge and a blink for to stomp onto the Klinks, who gets that Aegis popped, and is there going to be a reaction here? There's going to be a stun in by the Undying as a relocated Io and Sven. They've got into there, and Klinks, he goes for a kill. Will be able to find the Oracle. And Klinks, he's got 10 seconds left onto the Invis, and they use the dust onto the Klinks. Klinks is most likely not going to be able to get it as a double edge. Secures the kill onto the Klinks, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 at the bottom lane, as Perky Pepperoni is just not really able to react to that as much as they might have liked. Monkeys Forever continues to work on that farm. He's got the Necro 3 up, and he's going to go for this hard camp once again. And he puts down a couple of boars, doing a lot of damage to these minions. Just tries to avoid that stomp, and he'll end up finishing up the creep with his boars before they end up stomping on him. And he is, that's a nice ward that they've got placed there on the high ground, scouting out the Sven, gives him some nice vision right there. But with this IO coming in, it's a lot more difficult of a kill for the Radiant to go for. Oh wow, somewhere else on the map, T-Torsing it up here as Vengeful Spirit goes down on the bottom lane, most likely getting stomped on by the Centaur. But that's actually a pretty valuable kill. And actually on the bottom lane, we are going to see the Sven getting hit a lot by these Necrobucks, and there's going to be a nice relocate away. And the Queen of Pain comes in with the Sonic Wave onto the Invoker. He's taking a lot of damage here. He's going to put into the Quas, so he's going to be regenerating quite a bit. And the Queen of Pain, she does have a blink away if she needs it. Sven comes back in, and the Undying might be the one to die here as they go for the Tombstone. And Invoker will put down the Ice Wall. And that is very healthy right now. On the backside, looks like Clinks is trying to go for some shenanigans. And he's getting some help from the Undying. Blink is available from the Centaur Warrunner, but he does not have the mana for Stomp. Stun is going to go on the Beastmaster, and there's just tons of kills being going down here. Io is going to go down. Queen of Pain was also taken care of on the backside of this by the Clinks, and Sven is getting very low. Nice false promise by the Oracle, but Oracle's actually got some really good position, finishing off the Beastmaster with Purifying Flames, and well, this Sven is going to stay alive with a nice armlet toggles, and they're not quite able to find him. Centaur Warrunner is going to get hit by the Decay, and the Soul Rip will end up finishing him off. Are they able to find the Sven here? Blinks away, not going to get hit by that swap. But now here goes the Clinks being very aggressive onto the Oracle, and he's gotten the Fate's Edict onto him. And Queen of Pain is available here. Vengeful Spirit caught out on the wrong side. And while the Vengeful Spirit is going to take some damage from the Queen of Pain, the rest of her team is there, but it does not matter. The Purifying Flames end up finishing off the Vengeful Spirit. And here is the relocate back in by the IO. Just makes it a little bit easier for this Sven to farm up here. And again, we have a pause. So, Vultur, they're looking really good in this game, but Perky Pepperoni still have the lead in the net worth, and it's a little bit more spread out for them. I mean, only Sven is at the top of the net worth board at the Armlet and Blink Dagger, Helm and Dominator. Some very good items for him, and he's very difficult to take down, as well as the Wisp helping him out. So he's got a lot of survivability. And as opposed to last game, Vultur definitely have a lot better late game than, well, they have at least passable late game as opposed to last game. Relatively better. Clinks is going to use the Shadow Walk here. Going forward, he is underneath the Sentry Ward, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Queen of Pain is going to blink away. And Clinks has enough gold to finish off that battle, BKB rather, when he has a chance. But they continue to look for kills. They have the Roar available, but the Queen of Pain is able to get that blink away. Just in the nick of time, away from that Beastmaster. Just surviving on the skin of his teeth right there. Centaur has blink forward, but there is going to be a stun here onto the Sven, and Sven is going to get absolutely wrecked by that Sunstrike. The Wisp is abandoning him, running away, trying to survive. And there's a swap available, gets the swap back, and the Wisp is most likely going to die here. Stun is going to help the Invoker finish off for the double kill. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, the top tower is getting hit by the Clinks and the Beastmaster. There's going to be a Fortify being used, but let's see what's happening at bottom as they only send the Oracle here to clean it up. Oh, there's going to be the double stomp, and Queen of Pain comes in with the Sonic Wave. That's going to be a double kill for her, but here comes the Cold Snap. They possibly could find the Queen of Pain, but she has that blink away if she needs to. However, while all that was happening, the top tower ended up getting taken by the Beastmaster and the Clinks. And oh well, what's happening bottom? Clinks is here, ready to go onto the Queen of Pain. And let's see if they can bait out that blink. I don't think Clinks wants to go for the initiation right now. There's going to be a cold snap, and look at that, just absolutely melted here. There's going to be a relocate in by the Sven and the Isles. Look at that damage onto the Invoker, and Clinks will end up finishing off. But look at this, Clinks is just out of mana, and oh, the Sven just hitting the wrong way on that cleave. But it does not matter. He's got that blink forward, and he will find the kill onto the Brooklyn Kurtz. Double kill for the Sven, just coming in with that relocate and just punishing Perky Pepperoni for even thinking that they can go for a fight like that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under siege. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oracle is going to find a haster and be able to join his team at the bottom lane. As Sven is just doing some ridiculous damage to this bottom lane. He's gotten the Oblivion staff, so we're most likely going to see an Echo Saber from him. That's a very cheap build, a very fast cheap build from the Sven. That's kind of to be expected from him. He really wants to get the damage items and the big damage up fast. And the Echo Saber just allows you to get that very quickly at the beginning of the fight, as well as getting a pseudo lockdown on one member of the enemy team. It's a very good item on him. Lots of burst potential. Invoker working towards that Aghanim Scepter, about 600 gold away from it right now. Clinks is farming up on his side of the jungle. He's the only one on that side of the map in the Centaur. He's hunting. He's looking for some stuff. God Strength is going to get used by the Sven. But I feel like Perky Pepperonis, they don't really want to engage on this throw. They're going to use the Fortify. But I think they might be trying to push in mid, or at least top. So they might try to take a fight mid and then go top, or take the tier 3 top while that is going on. But Vultur, they say, you know what? If you don't want to fight us, we're going to take your towers. And the God Strength Sven is going to do just that. God Strength runs out just now. And he's going to continue to do that. The tier 2 tower is going to get taken by the Clinks. And, well, with these Necro books, they're going to be doing a lot of damage to this tier 3 tower in the top lane. So there possibly could be a trade. Only the Sven is left here, and there's going to be a relocate out by the Wisp. Now they've left only the Clinks, and the Clinks is taking a lot of damage, healing up with the Purifying Flames, and the Queen of Pain will eventually finish him off. Beastmaster is here with a Roar, and they do not manage to finish off that Vengeful Spirit. Meanwhile, they are waiting for the IO, and the IO comes back to his death while all that is happening. They take down a couple of creeps at top. Oh, there's going to be a Roar here onto the Sven, and without the armlet, Beastmaster is just able to take him out. Takes him right out to dinner. And the Beastmaster is going to be the one finding the sweet, sweet kill onto the Sven. 23 minutes in the game, Sven leads that net worth, so that's a very valuable kill for Monkeys Forever to go for. Just knowing exactly when he can go in onto the Sven, knowing that his armlet is off, and just smacking him down with those arms, big strong arms of his, as well as that Primal Roar. Taking a quick look at the XP and gold right now. Very slimly on the side of Perky Pepperonis. They've got a little bit better on the farm. And let's see what else is going on. We've got the Queen of Pain running through the jungle right now with her little wand of pain. Or I guess that's a dagger. It always looked like a wand to me, but it is indeed a dagger. And we could possibly see a smoke out here from the Dire. There's a Crimson Guard on the Centaur War Runner. And Queen of Pain, yep, she's got an Orchid. Meanwhile, while this is happening, a beautiful scan by the Radiant as they see Vultur Gaming moving through their secret shop. They don't have a whole lot of personnel here. And Centaur could be aggressive. Let's see how much vision they have of the Radiant squad. Oh, there's going to be the Orchid here onto the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit getting fairly low, and the Sonic Wave will end up finishing off. So that's Sonic Wave used for one here. The Blink Forward here onto the Invoker. Invoker down to half health right now. And look at that. Relocate in. Just absolute havoc as Sven goes ham against the Radiant squad. But they're forced to take down the Tombstone. So now they're trying to kind of figure out their target. Blink Forward by the Queen of Pain here onto the Clinks, whose BKB is finished up. Sven gets the stun. That's a kill onto the Clinks. But while all this is happening, Tier 3 Tower went the way of the Beastmaster, and he is doing quite a bit of damage onto the ranged racks, and that will not regen. So they're forced back here. Undying has gone forward into the mid lane. He's going to get jumped on here by the Queen of Pain. There is no stun available. And are they able to do enough damage? Yes, they are. Queen of Pain is on a dominating streak as they just find the kill onto the Undying. Very aggressive on that mid lane, just trying to create a little bit more space. But at that point, the Beastmaster, he had already backed up. So a few more kills the way of Vultur, as they're looking pretty good in this match. They're possibly going to find another Tier 1 tower here in the mid lane, taken out by the Dire, Queen of Pain, and Oracle putting a lot of damage onto it. And they could go into the Roshan pit. You're doing a lot of damage to him very quickly with the Sven, the Armlet, the Centaur tanking it up. Just looking very good here, and this Aegis is going to help them quite a bit. Now there is going to be a Sunstrike, and it will not quite hit the IO, which probably would have surely killed the IO if it had hit, but it will not, and Sven is quickly able to finish off that Roshan. But here comes the jump in by the Beastmaster. He steals the Aegis. He picks up the Aegis. Now he's inside the pit. Here comes the Meatball. Deafening blast. They're going right in. There is the Orchid here onto Monkeys Forever. Nice stun by the Central Runner. That would be a nice swap back by the Vengeful Spirit. Just saving Monkeys Forever, but it's not going to matter because the balls just blow him up. Now the Clinks, he pops the BKB. There's a blink onto the backside of the pit, and Sven will be able to use the Armor Taco to survive there. There's going to be a stun here onto the Centaur War Runner, and they're trying to take down the Oracle. Oracle taking a lot of damage. They will end up getting taken down by the Undying, and it's only the Centaur left here. Beautiful take by the Monkeys Forever onto the Aegis, and just continues to set up his team. 5 for 1, a full 5-man team wipe, and 4,000 gold the way of Perky Pepperonis. Vultur thinking that they were back into this match, but now it's just Perky Pepperonis going in onto this tier 3 tower in the mid lane. It was just a beautiful blink in by Monkeys Forever. Perky Pepperonis just knowing the timing. It's like they're in Vultur's heads as they're going for these Roshan hits. I mean, they stole the kill in the last one. They steal the Aegis in this one, and they're going to take a ranged Rax off of it. There is going to be a stun here on the Clinks, and he could be taking quite a bit of damage. There is going to be a Tornado in as well as EMP, possibly hitting, but not quite, onto the Queen of Pain. So it's going to be another naked Rax in mid, and they're probably thinking about going in here. The Beastmaster, he has 20 seconds left on that Necrobook timing, and the Beastmaster is just going to throw out some axes on that mid lane creeps to kind of clear him out. They could possibly go on Sven. Sven is actually going to blink forward, doesn't quite find a stun. And, well, the Queen of Pain comes in with the Shivas. On the backside, Clinks is getting a lot of damage here onto the Io. Io uses the Ghost Scepter, and the Sven is down. Queen of Pain is done. And now they only have the Centaur Warrunner. Again, the lone member of his team surviving. And then remember, that was a buyback by the Sven. He's down for 70 more seconds. And they've taken the melee racks. They're doing a lot of damage here. That's going to be it. GG, 28 minutes this time. 1 minute more than the last game. As Perky Pepperonis, they ride the back of a beautiful play in the Roche Pit to a quick win here against Vultur. They take the 2-0. They take the series. And they're going to go into the next round of the COD League Season 3 tournament, up to face Unknown in the next round in the quarterfinals of the upper bracket. So that's going to do it for this match. This is going to do it for the night. Thank you all for watching. It was really great. I don't know if we have anything else, but if that is all she wrote for us here on the English stream, have a great night. Cheers. And somehow make it tomorrow. That's all you got to do. We'll be back tomorrow for some more matches. You have a great day and night and all that other fun stuff. I'm done. I should stop saying words now.